We did it. The Baltimore Ravens took down the Pittsburgh Steelers today. The score, I'm glad you asked. 34-17, not particularly close.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening, Hendo, and everyone in the chat. Hendo, how are you tonight?
I'm wonderful. How about you?
I am great because this game right here, I'll be honest with you, I went in with a little bit of trepidation, a little nervousness, a little concern, just because we've not had a remarkable history going against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But today, I want to only focus on the good, and that is the fact that we got the dub. Yes, Baltimore Ravens fans, get excited. Get excited. We're here to recap the game, and we will not be before you long. But if you did not get a chance to watch us on the live stream, live play-by-play reaction, please make sure you tune in, go back, watch that. It's hilarious. There are a lot of comical moments there. So thank you all for already joining us in the chat. Thank you. I see you, Kamal, Big Woke, and Davon. Yes, a win is always wonderful. Let's start with the defense. And this is because I want to end on a really good note. That's why. But you know what? Let's not.
No, we start with the defense. That's fine.
Okay.
I mean, they played. They were solid. They got 2 turnovers when we needed it the most. So hey, listen. The first turnover, Russell Wilson looked like he was headed toward the end zone. Darius Washington stepped in, knocked the ball loose. We got the ball back. Went down there and scored a touchdown. Ooh. Then Lamar Jackson had just thrown an interception and looked like momentum was swinging back to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then Marlon Humphrey just steps in front of the pass and goes in for the pick 6. So I think bend don't break works to an extent, but there are some things that we need to clean up. There's some things that we need to fix going into the playoffs, because to me, although they played well, Kyle Van Noy balled out at his advanced age. David Ajabo, we had a sighting, but we shouldn't be letting wide receiver number 3 dominate us.
Yeah,
because he ate up Brandon Stevens and Nate Wiggins. Nate Wiggins in his 4.28 speed got left in the dust, because the thing that I was told was, well, with that speed, nobody's getting past him. Calvin Austin did. So if wide receiver number 3 can do these things, what's going to happen when we get into the playoffs? And that we like to put Wiggins on wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2 for some reason, which I don't think is fair to him. What's going to happen then when he goes up against more experienced receivers? Because you don't need speed to beat guys if you have precise route running. Yeah. So I think there's some things that we need to clean up, but we got the dub. The defense did what they needed to do to get this win. So, I'm happy.
Yeah.
But I'm just looking forward to what's going to happen in the playoffs, because Zach Orr, to me, has not learned his lesson.
For sure. Putting Malik Harrison in coverage, Roquan Smith in coverage. We should have gotten that out of our system by now. We started doing that early in the season, and we should have known that these linebackers are your run stuffing linebackers. These are not your cover back. This is just not it. So. Right. To see us go on a stretch of games where we did not see Malik Harrison and Roquan Smith in coverage was really refreshing. Like, okay, he learned. He picked it up. He got it. All right, made a few mistakes, tried a few things, experimented, didn't work. Now let's stop it. But today, we saw a repeat of what we saw early on. So, I mean, I'm going to say this, and this might be a little controversial, but...
Not you.
Oh, yeah. I don't shy away from a little bit of controversy. Just the only thing I ask is that, if you disagree, that's okay. Just please keep your conversation respectful and clean. That's all we ask.
I disagree.
Here. You don't even know what I'm going to say.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, what was I going to say? What are you disagreeing about first? Let's hear it.
I don't know.
You're the one that, wait, you're the only one who does know. You're the one who
said I object.
I'm about to fall out of this. Fall out of this chair, not for good reason.
Sustained.
Okay. Anyway, I'm about to say something a bit controversial. So, losing Patrick Queen, a lot of Ravens fans are divided. Some people say, hey, I'm glad he's gone. Who cares? I don't care. And then some are saying, well, you know what? He was coming into his own right before he left. And we don't have, because right now you have to name me the Baltimore Ravens linebacker who is excelling in coverage. Who would that be? If you are in the chat, go ahead. Name the Baltimore Ravens linebacker who is excelling or at least doing above average in coverage.
Queen didn't excel in coverage.
That's why I said, or at least above average. That's what I just said.
Queen wasn't above average.
Well, he
Queen
wasn't.
was below. Queen was below average passing. Queen could not cover a cold.
He covered better than Roquan Smith. That's what I'm saying. I didn't
say
say that's not saying a whole lot. I get it.
What did we say about a D and a C minus? It's the same difference.
Well,
but to your point, I understand what you're saying, and I understand where you're trying to go with this. But in that situation, I put more of that on the defensive coordinator because I'm not a defensive coordinator, and I know that Cordero Patterson came into the league as a wide receiver, so he's practiced running routes. I know they put him, they use him a lot at running back, but he's a wide receiver. I know this as just a fan watching TV. So shouldn't the defensive coordinator know this guy has wide receiver skills? He knows how to run routes. He knows the precise points where he should come, cut his route off, do certain things. And to put Malik Harrison, arguably our weakest cover linebacker,
that's the worst,
on him.
Yeah,
I put that more on the defensive coordinator because as the defensive coordinator, you should know my limitations. You should know my liabilities. You shouldn't be calling certain coverages during certain portions of the game. So, yeah, you can say we can have Patrick Queen, but Patrick Queen, with all his speed, a la Nate Wiggins, what are they doing with that speed? Just because you are fast. There have been hundreds, or at least a few dozen, wide receivers in the NFL that run 4.240s, but they weren't any good. Speed is not the tell-all be-all, but when you have it out with liabilities, the defensive coordinator should put you in position to do what you do. Just like when we saw Kyle Hamilton almost get that interception. I asked you during the game, where's Kyle Hamilton been this season? The defensive coordinator needs to put these players into position to make plays.
That's right.
You're putting Malik Harrison in a position to fail because we've seen this song and dance earlier in the season. You know he can't cover.
For sure, but we refuse to go out and get a Micah Parsons, a linebacker who can cover. We don't do that. So we're stuck with what we have. And when we need a linebacker to cover, who are we putting out there? We thought it was Trenton Simpson. Before the season began,
yes,
we thought it was Trenton Simpson. Okay, we said next man up. Patrick Queen out the door, insert Trenton Simpson.
I don't care if it's Patrick Queen. I don't care if it's Trenton Simpson. They should not be covering wide receivers.
Correct. Of course. I agree with you. I'm just saying we were speaking about seeing Malik Harrison in coverage, seeing Roquan Smith, not just this game. This game. What'd you say, Hendo?
Shouldn't happen. We got lucky. I mean, we honestly got lucky because we are susceptible to the tight ends over the middle. And the Steelers did not utilize fire move like that. So we got a little bit lucky. But listen, we did what we needed to do as far as the defense was concerned. We warmed down with the run. Their defense was gassed because Derrick Henry was just out there beating up on them guys like they were little kids. Your boy Patrick Queen, who you somehow want to be on his team so bad, he had help in tackling Derrick Henry and backed away. He did the Michael Jackson moonwalk when it came to tackling him. You saw the play.
Yeah.
And that's the guy that you want on his team?
I mean, it is what it is. Cameron says Trenton can cover, but where has he been? And then if he can cover, Camru, thanks for being here. Why are we not seeing him in coverage? Why did we see Roquan Smith and Malik Harrison? No injury designation, not a healthy scratch. He's active.
He has the potential, in my opinion. He has the potential. I've seen him cover. He made plays, but for some reason in live action, he hasn't played like he played during the preseason. He didn't play like he played in that last game versus Pittsburgh last year. I don't know if it's all mental for him. I don't know if it's mental for him. He has the fundamentals. He has the abilities and the attributes to make these plays, but I don't know what it is. But still, I don't want Trenton Simpson covering a wide receiver.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. We don't want that, but that's what we seem to like to do. So we just kind of do that. Thank you so much for the new subscription. Thank you for
Appreciate it.
subscribing to Hendo's channel. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to not try to say the name Sasuke. I probably messed it up, but thank you for subscribing. And if
Appreciate
you are new, welcome. Please subscribe, join the family. Hendo and I are doing a 31-day challenge where each day this month we are giving you content on our respective channels. So make sure your post notifications are turned on so that you never miss content we release on our channels. And if you are enjoying the stream so far, go ahead, do us a favor and hit the like button, hit that thumbs up button for us. But going back to our defense, name one player that stood out to you. And if you are watching in the chat, go ahead and answer this too. One defensive player, stock up, that really stood out to you in a positive way today.
All right. To answer Raven Girl's question. The Steelers are up because of conference record. They have a better conference record than the Ravens do. That's why. We have the same exact divisional record, but they have a better conference record. A player that stood out to me, Darius Washington. You know, he's ever since they've inserted him into that defensive backfield, they've been a lot better in coverage. He's making plays. He's the smallest guy on the field, but yet and still he stands out the biggest to me. We have a $70 million safety that's sitting on the bench doing nothing, who when he played, he just didn't look interested in the game of football. Darius is fighting for a contract. Darius is fighting for his football life. So he's out there making the plays that he needs to make. I have to also give a shout out to Marlowe, because Marlowe's he's making game-changing plays. It seems like week in and week out. You know, I know some people kind of trashed him, and I was one of them. I ain't gonna hold you that trashed him, and everybody tries to say to me, well, you know, he's a slot corner. No, that's not where we drafted him. We didn't draft him to be a slot corner, but he's covering wide receiver 3 as a $100 million cornerback. Don't give me that he's a slot corner. It's $100 million. But he has made the plays. He's the only one that seems to consistently get his hands on the ball. And that interception return for a touchdown, I think, changed the game dramatically. Because when Lamar threw that interception, momentum went back to the Steelers. In the chat, the Steelers fans started woofing it up, talking about how sad we looked and how, you know, everything was going back. And then here go Marlowe, pick it off, run it back in. So, yeah.
That's a good Hey there, world class. That's an interesting point. Trenton Simpson doesn't have the size for the Steelers game. Well, I mean, that's something. I was going to say that's something.
5'8", 170 pounds.
Nate Wiggins, he's taller, but he's very slender. So, I mean, that's not.
My granddaughter weighs more than Nate Wiggins.
What'd you say?
My granddaughter weighs more than Nate Wiggins.
So I don't know if I agree with that wholly, because we're putting defensive players out there who weigh less than him. We do have a super chat coming through. Super chats get priority. So if you want your message read quickly and you want to skip to the front of the line, there is a donation button down at the bottom of the screen. Go ahead and hit the donation and support the channels. We greatly appreciate it. Brodney Evans coming through with a $10 super chat that says...
Ivins, not Evans.
Ivins?
Yes, not Evans.
I did say Evans. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. I am sorry. That was my apologies, just speeding through it. Brodney Ivins. There we go. I corrected it. Thank you. Brodney, I'll just say Brodney. That way we'll just keep moving. Brodney, super chat, $10. Thank you. He said, Happy Ravens Day. Thank you, Brodney. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it. It is a great day for the Ravens. And Robert, we're not down on the team. No, we're not. But we will certainly keep it 100%, because a win is a win. And this type of win, especially against the Steelers, is a great one. Because when the Ravens play the Steelers, it's usually a very close game. And Brodney said in his live stream, he and his brother Jose over at Lunch Break Hot Take, make sure you go over and subscribe to them, said in their preview show, I don't think it's going to be that close. I don't think it's going to be. And I'm like, I disagree with him. But Brodney was right.
Now, Robert, it's not being down on the team. And I say this each and every season. Everything that we go through, good or bad, for me, is not for the regular season. We look great and do amazing things during the regular season, but come postseason, things just don't tend to go our way. So it's not about being down. It's about correcting mistakes that we've seen throughout the season. Listen, we caught some breaks in this game. We still have an issue with penalties and discipline. We turned the ball. We fumbled the ball 3 times.
Yeah.
Luckily, we recovered all 3 of them. These are some mistakes that we always have versus the Steelers, except for this time it didn't bite us in the butt. My only thing is, when will we learn from these mistakes? Because we will not always be so lucky to
Yeah.
catch those fumbles. Like your man, why would you put him back there a 3rd time and let him fumble a punt return again? You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Like
we gonna
this
talk
is
about special
that's
teams.
okay, but I'm just saying it's fine for this game, but in the playoffs we might not be as lucky in the playoffs, and everything that I
Yeah.
talk about is strictly for the playoffs. So
For
it's
sure.
not for yes, I'm grateful. 2-8 in our last 10 games. We're at 20% versus the Steelers in our last 10 games.
Wow.
I'm grateful because I get to talk. I get to talk my
And you
stuff.
have been.
So I'm grateful that they won.
And you
Do
have been.
not get me wrong. I'm still looking for why.
Why? He's gonna
I'm
be
still
back.
looking for.
We're gonna
Now,
see
now
why.
the other one came
Andre.
through.
Andre.
No,
That was
no,
Andre.
no. The other one after we finished the live stream, he came in. The
Oh,
other
the
one,
one. Yeah, right at the
he
end.
came. He came through and was like, "This is not cool.
Yeah, this is not cool. I was
Not
like,
cool."
dude, live stream is over. Now you come by. All right, we appreciate you. Rave the Phantom 6. He said, hello, a backstory. Been a Ravens fan since since as long as I can remember. But I've been heavily following the Ravens since 2018. Awesome.
Nice.
I love hearing this. I've been following channels like Engraven, and this year, the second one, your channel. Thank you for the support.
Nice.
We appreciate you. I love your videos, the excitement you bring, and everything. Keep it up. This game was such a gift. First of all, thank you not only to you, Rave the Phantom, but to all of you who support our channels and the work that we do. And we just come on here, share our thoughts and opinions. And even though we don't always agree, we appreciate the fact that you all keep it respectful. So we do have another super chat donation coming through. So I've got to skip the line. Ravens girl, thank you. Drops a $4.99, and she said, just wanted to send some appreciation for the content. This is warming our hearts. Thank you very much for the support. We really, really appreciate it. Can't thank you all enough. It goes a long way, and it just helps us further create better content for you. We appreciate it. I was going back to Rave the Phantom. So I'm glad that you've been following the Ravens for many years. I'm sure you have a lot of history and perspective that you can share with us. So feel free to weigh in the chat as we go through. I see everyone in here wanted to say hello. I see some of you are saying Marlon was your, hero for the defense. Can't argue with you with that. Kamal Porter, interesting. Kyle Van Noy, first time in his career he achieves double digits sack total for a season. Amazing accomplishment for him. I'm sure he feels really, really good about it.
Shout out to the Ravens sack leader. Shout out, old man. This is for the old men across the league. Shout out for the double digits, leading the team. You missed a game and a half. Like, you still out here doing your thing while these young Thundercats just out here just whiffing and laying on the
I
ground,
see
counting
where
blades
this
of
is
grass.
going, and it's not going in the favor and direction
I
that
didn't,
I
I didn't
want it to
mention,
go, because you don't have to mention a certain player's name, but I know where you're going. Let us know in the chat.
Going. Excuse me. Bless me.
That was terrible. Stock down. Leave a comment in the chat. Who on defense? Stock down this game. Hendo, for you.
And I hate to do this, but it's got to be Brandon Stevens. He is the weak link of this team. He's the weak link of this team. Like, listen, he doesn't allow. I give him credit because he doesn't allow a ton of yards. He doesn't allow touchdowns, but it's just that the most inopportune times he just gives up catches. He allows first downs. Like, he has not learned the technique of looking for the ball. Like, he's always in the area. Like they keep saying, he's sticky coverage. He's a sticky cornerback. He just doesn't have the wherewithal to locate the ball and make a play on it. And in a contract year, not a good thing. Not a good thing. And then with the rest of the defense struggling, it makes him look even worse because he doesn't have anybody to pick him up. So,
yeah. Oh, that is so good, Deshaun86. I'm glad that your stock up on defense was Odafe Owe. I love to see it. Love to see that.
That's it. Down. Yes, Dave.
He just said, oh, wait. And I just, I took it as this was a comment that came through earlier. Oh, thank you, LBHT. Glad that they are sending people our way. We do appreciate it. Thanks for being here. I would say for me,
this is special. Just Aloe. It's past his bedtime and he's hanging out with us. Appreciate you, Just Aloe.
thank you, Just Aloe. Thank you. We're not going to be here too much longer. We got several things
Wait a minute.
to get through.
I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Listen, Ghost, I do appreciate you because you did lose an extra game last week. Davon, you keeping up. Like, you keeping up with me in my league. But, as a matter of fact, since y'all in here, let me just go ahead and Thanos this other one.
And there was a question about that. He said, Camrou says, you got to remember plays can be changed. So the offense is always looking for a weakness. Malik got caught, as he usually does. I see. Yeah. It's nothing new. But Hendo, where do you get those rings? And once he answers that, we do have another super chat that I will get to.
Where did I get these rings? So aha!
Let me go to the super chat and then we'll come back.
Then we'll come back to the rings?
Then we'll come back to the rings. Remember, super chats get priority. Oh, I took them out of order. Okay, there we go. Weber, thank you for the $5 super chat. Marlo stepped up after that Instagram live. Yes, he did. Lamar has carried this team almost 24/7. His teammates need to do the same too. Can't argue with you there. We're about to transition into the offense, but you're absolutely right there, Weber.
Yeah. And I think as an elder statesman on the defense, he took to heart what Lamar said to him. And he took what is your face for?
Because I feel like we're going to merge into Odafe Oweh in some kind of way.
No. I was just saying he took the leadership role as far as the defense is concerned and stepped up his play. That's all I was going to say.
I get a little apprehensive when you start talking about the defense. I know you're going to find a way. The elder statesman had an opportunity to talk to these guys and really get them pumped up. And people listened. Everybody listened except one player, Odafe Oweh. It seemed to go in one ear and out the other.
Please, all right, we're not here for your rants. Come on, please.
That's what I felt you were going to say. $5 super chat coming in from our guy, Don C. Thank you. He says, thank you for the $5 donation to my YouTube bestie, Yolanda B. and my guy, Hendo. What a game. We as fans needed that as much as the Ravens. Merry Christmas to you as well. Thank you. Indeed. I think the fans needed the game just about as much as the players did. The players absolutely needed it. Because we needed to feel confident that we can beat them. The same thing with the Chiefs. We need to finally be able to beat them. I know we did that year that Sammy Watkins was with us. That was 2020 or 2021. I can't remember. We did beat them that one time. But outside of that, when we look at the Steelers, when we look at the Chiefs, it's more often than not that we come in second place. So, yeah, I agree with you. We as fans, we needed that. The team needs it for sure. So thank you both for the super chat donation.
It was another one. It was the third one.
Did I miss the third one?
But while you look for the third ones, listen, speaking of beating people, you want to know where I got the rings from? It is from my Patreon. And for $5 a month, you can get into the Pick'ems League. I have a Pick'ems League where we do weekly picks, and I'm unbeatable. And that's why Ghost made the comment that he made. I'm going for the three-peat. I'm going for my third ring. I'm currently leading against Davon in mine. I'm also the two-time defending champion in the LBHT's Pick'em League, going for my third straight championship. But since no one can beat me in either league and picking games, I think I may have to retire after the season and give my friends an opportunity to win. I can't keep winning because Bridie's going to be upset if I get a handful of rings and sit there like Michael Jordan and take my picture with all my rings. So hopefully I get these next two. I'm going to fill these two fingers up and then I'm going to call it quits. And, I got my LBHT trophy here. I got another plaque somewhere else. It's just,
long story short, join his Patreon, get into his Patreon so that you can dethrone him so that he can stop chirping about all his rings. And, if you are into fantasy, you get into his fantasy league and all the things that they do over there. Make sure you.
But this is the Pick'em League. We had the fantasy
Pick'em's League, fantasy league, whatever league that you can win one of the rings. Join that. Killer Cam
Did you
says
find it?
Namdi
Did
was
you find a
ghost as
third?
well.
Did you find a third chat? Super chat?
There was not there. I called. There was 4 so far, and I called all 4 of them. Brodney, Ravens girl, Weber, and Don C. Those are the 4.
Okay, appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right, calm down.
Okay.
You're really excited.
No, because I have to go back all the way to the top. Okay. Now I'm back.
Oh, oh.
No, no, not today. That's right. Golden State, which really means Orlando Magic, but I'm just teasing.
Negative.
He said,
Negative.
he said, go ahead and do us a favor. Hit that like button. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. We have now another super chat coming through from Cam Rue. Thank you for the $5 donation. Yolanda, have patience with Trenton. He's thinking a lot. Yeah, he does. PQ was horrible in his second year. He was. And you're right. I can't argue with you there. 29 and 14 will be the best safety duo. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you and to everyone here with us. Thank you. Thank you. I am Cameron. I'm going to be patient with him, right? I'm going to give him some time. But on the other hand, on the opposite end of the pendulum, right? You want to give your players time, especially if they're young and they're developing.
Thanks.
But I want to win a championship this year too. So 100%. It's a balancing act. For me, I'm speaking for myself. It is definitely a balancing act. Wanting to see our players play really well every game, 4 quarters, but understanding that some of them might need a little bit more time. Sometimes those two are conflicting interests. And I lean on the side of, I want a championship now more than, oh, give it some time, have some patience. But to your point.
We've been doing that for 6 years.
What did you say?
We've been doing let's be patient and wait for 6 years.
No, I mean specifically with Trenton Simpson. He's only in the
second
year.
I wasn't talking about you. I was just talking about in general for us. But listen, I want to send out an apology. I want to send out an apology to Cameron. I want to apologize because I've been meaning to ask you to come on the channel for the longest time, and just I'm really bad at inviting people. It's just Yolanda invites herself, so I don't really have a choice. But yeah, so Cam, I'm trying to get you on, bro, because I love what you do. I love your takes, even though we don't always agree on everything. It's always mutual respect, and it's a good conversation. So yeah, I'm trying to get you up on that.
That would be a lot of fun. Hendo and Cam Rue joining a stream together. That would be great. So, if you are so inclined, Cam Rue, that'd be great. 86 Ghosts wants to know, and shout out, let me take a moment right now, shout out to all of our channel members, my channel members, as well as Hendo's. Thank you for the support. If you would like to become a channel member yourself, like 86 Ghost, there is a join button down in the description box. Please click on it. And for both of our channels, it will tell you the different tiers that you can choose from if you'd like to further support what we are doing here for these Baltimore Ravens. Killer Cam said, who's streaming on Christmas? I can answer that.
Who's streaming on Christmas Eve? Who's streaming on New Year's Day? Who's streaming on New Year's Eve? And then it's over.
We will be doing a lot of streaming over the next couple of, I can't say weeks because it's less than 2. I know. I can't believe we're already at day 21. Mercy.
See, the 31-day challenge was not bad at all.
But I didn't say all that. Now wait a minute. No, don't.
We did not release one short. I'm just saying. All right, back to the football. We didn't release one short. Back to the football. Let's go.
The other half of Lunch Break Hot Take, Brodney and Jose are both here with us. Thank you, Jose, for being here. Thank you. Make sure you go over, subscribe to them. We all have goals. And we have goals that we're trying to meet before the end of the season. And for us, as Baltimore Ravens, our season will not end until after the Super Bowl victory that we accomplished this year. So
by the time the Ravens win the Super Bowl, I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers.
And it can happen.
It's a lofty goal. I know.
That's okay. That's okay. A lofty goal, but it can certainly happen. And you are integral to that. You can help us. Here's how. Grab a link to our channels, share it with your family and friends, because you know what? 'Tis the season.
Listen, I know you got your people's passwords. Log into their stuff. Hit subscribe. Just let a couple videos just play on them. Let the commercials roll. Listen, you have multiple accounts. Y'all have multiple accounts. Go ahead and do that thing. It's the season of giving. We appreciate it.
Daniel Franklin said, then never again after these 31 days. You got that right. Oh,
That's false. That's false
that's what
because
he
Yolanda was just talking to me last night about possibly doing a 24-hour stream.
Right. Wait. Put it in proper perspective. What was the context around the 24-hour stream?
Oh, you said something about maybe a tag team where multiple people get involved, but we just do a 24-hour stream. It's going to be a subscribe-a-thon to help build up the channels and do whatever we can to help reach some of our goals. But yeah, listen, I'm down for a 24-hour stream. If some other parties are involved, I
Okay.
have no problem with that. I mean,
Awesome.
I'll take most of the work. I don't sleep
Okay.
anyway.
There you go. Let's move on to the offense, and we'll talk more about a possible 24-hour stream in a later live stream. And we'll also talk about perhaps a meet and greet. Let us
Oh,
know in the chat if that is something that you
mm,
would like for, the Ravens YouTubers who, we kind of associate with on a frequent basis. Let us know if you'd like us to maybe do another meet and greet. The one last year was really amazing. It was so fun to meet everyone, and let us know. But we'll table that for now because we got to recap this game.
yes,
Moving
indeed.
on to the offense.
Okay,
Woo.
okay.
Okay, Hendo,
That's
tell me
good.
what you saw watching this Ravens offense today.
I was a little dismayed on the first drive. I thought that they would come out a little bit better. I thought it was sluggish and lethargic, but then they kind of picked things up. Derrick Henry, like we've been saying for the last umpteen weeks, you start off with the running game. No matter how many times they stop you, eventually they're not going to want to tackle him. And we saw a bunch of times where the
Mm,
Steelers defense was just like grabbing at him. They weren't trying to tackle him; they were grabbing at him to make it look like an effort. And with that, we have the play action pass. When the play action pass, it opens up a lot of things for Lamar Jackson. So to me, I thought that they executed well. But then after I think when we got the 10-point lead, we started to try to get a little too pass happy. I thought we started to slide back into old bad habits. But
mm,
then Todd Monken got himself together. I give
yeah.
him all the credit. He got himself back together, and we started to run the ball again, and that opened up a lot of things. And then with the defense getting 2 turnovers, I loved everything that I saw. Lamar Jackson now has a career high in passing yards with 3,687. What is it? 3,787 yards. He now has a career high passing 37 touchdowns. Derrick Henry has 1,636 yards rushing. Zay Flowers had 100 yards on 5 catches, which put him over the 1,000-yard mark, which I like to see with that. And he is the first Baltimore Ravens wide receiver drafted in the first round to. Well, I'm sorry, the second. Hollywood was the first.
Okay. We've got yet another super chat. We will come back to and pick up right where we left off in one moment. Don C is showing a lot of love tonight. We appreciate it. He says $5. He sends us a $5 super chat. March Madness streams incoming. Maryland doesn't suck this year. Okay.
That's Maryland. They're
Okay.
gonna stop.
All
They're
right.
gonna-
All right. There you
But
go. You heard it here first. What were you saying, Hendo?
oh, Zay is the second first round wide receiver the Baltimore Ravens had to hit 1,000 yards. Torrey Smith was the first, but he was the second round pick. So
Yeah.
shout out to them for hitting certain milestones. Lamar Jackson, we trying to get him over 4,000 yards passing. So I think that they did well. I just think that Zay needs to clean up those drops. Now
Ooh,
we saw him in his zone about to have another tantrum
he
because he was
was.
wide open, but he wasn't saying anything when he was dropping easy balls. So it's just some things that we need to clean up before the playoffs start. And I think we'll be fine, especially if we stick to that formula that works for us winning. And I think if Zach Orr kind of tinkers with some things and corrects some things, I think we should be fine going into the playoffs, making this run toward the Super Bowl. So, and
Yeah.
shout out to the Terps, forever losers. I love my Terps.
um, yeah, it was good to see Derrick Henry. It was really good to see him actually break through the tackle and get the long run because so many times we've seen him struggle to go through, break tackles and get through.
It's too many people jumping him.
I know.
It's like he get mugged in the alley.
Wait, okay. Okay.
They hike the ball. It's 3 dudes around. I'm like, yo, give me a wallet.
Yeah. So it was really good to see. It was really good to see that for him. Certainly
Mhm.
was. Lamar Jackson
Mhm.
played a very good game.
Yes,
And
very, very
minus
efficient.
very efficient, with the exception, obviously, of that interception. And I said during the live stream, he has now 4 interceptions to the on this season. And to me, this one was on him. The other
Yes.
three, they were not, but obviously it's going to be on his record. It is what it is. His stat sheet, same thing. Tonight, we saw an interception, a bad decision. It was. There's nothing else that we can say about it.
All right.
But other than that, it was really good to see the offense start to wake up. And after that first drive, we really got to watch them get it going. And prayers up for Justice Hill.
Facts.
That was very, very scary to see him like that. And shout out to the Ravens for being able to see their teammate down like that. And even Derrick Henry talked about it in the post-game presser. He's like, it was very, it was tough to watch.
Right.
And for them to be able to come back and get the dub. This one's for you, Justice.
Because to that point earlier in the day, the Kansas City-Houston game, when Tank Dell got injured, it clearly affected that team. Like,
yes,
it threw them all the way. It threw them all the way off so much the kicker missed the extra point. Because Tank Dell held onto the ball and scored the touchdown. Kicker missed the extra point. You could see everybody was visibly shook. But I think the Ravens and their professionalism, I think they kept it together. And even though they were feeling for their brother, they still did what they needed to do. And yes, we are still in second place.
But we coming for that first place because when y'all lose.
Listen. Let them talk. They just lost. They need to find something to make themselves feel better. I feel for you. Like, listen, we still are in second place. But let's not forget, you got the Chiefs and the Bengals coming up. And put up and I dare you put up 17 points against the Bengals. Y'all can sleep on them if you want to. Y'all going to end the season with 4 straight losses. Y'all have had the division lead for the majority of the season. I think all of the season, really. And you're going to lose it in the last 2 weeks. How about what's that?
I have to. He said, my Gators won yesterday. I had never heard of that bowl that they played in. I said, what bowl are we playing in?
Are you talking about the Florida State Dionos? Because when Deion Sanders go back to Florida State, it's on and
that's not why we're here. Philip, I hope you enjoyed the game. I know it was freezing cold. I know you were cold up in those stands, but in the stadium. But hope you enjoyed the win. Glad you got to go and see it in person.
Watching those Steelers fans go home crying.
Oh man, I'm sure. Just watching the air being just taken from the wind from beneath their wings and from their sail. That had to be it.
All right, can you read that, please?
Yeah, DDSQ, welcome in. He said, according to Munkin, it wasn't bait. It was in bait for stop. It wasn't bait for stopping his route. Munkin was screaming at bait in the booth. It was on bait for stopping his route. Okay,
but. Yes, not about to defend Rashad Bateman, but yes, I knew that he.
That's a first.
It's not a first. I wanted to draft.
I'm teasing. It was a joke.
I when I saw the play happening, I knew Bateman was supposed to continue his route. I knew that, but the issue for me was the fact that there was a dude in Lamar's face and he jumped up. He couldn't see around him and blindly threw the ball. So for me, it's on Lamar because he couldn't see the play. He couldn't see anything happening. Like, you don't know. I know you know where Bateman is supposed to be, but you don't know if he got impeded. You just threw the ball blindly. So I can't 100% put that on Rashad Bateman.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry, Davon. I hate everything about UConn. I hate Gino Auriemma. I hate everything about them except for Maya Moore and Paige Beckers.
Let me get back to this game. Rashad Robertson is in here with us tonight. Thank you for being here. Can't believe in 7 seasons, this is Mark Andrews' first ever touchdown against Pittsburgh. When they said that tonight in the presser, Lamar said, I'm not going to repeat the word he said, but he said it over and over. What? That's the word I'm using. He didn't know. He's like, for real? Really? Wow. Yikes. I'm going to say yikes. That's what he said. And it was shocking. And it made you think, wow, 7 years, never had a touchdown until today. So that leads me to the question. Who on offense was your stock up? What player had a really good game? Go ahead.
Okay, before you step into that realm, Rashad, let me tell you something else. In 6 prior seasons, Mark Andrews has 0 touchdowns in the playoffs. Why is this a surprise? He doesn't show up in the big games.
Mm.
Sometimes. But he has 0 touchdowns in the playoffs in 6 years, even as Lamar's go-to wide receiver.
Yeah.
0.
Yeah.
But my
So,
stock-up player,
yeah, who's your stock up player on offense?
I would say Lamar Jackson, but from the
Mm.
season that he's had, I expect that from him. So I don't think his stock is up because I expect Lamar to play like this. My stock up has to go to Derrick Henry. The offensive line has struggled for the last few games. He hasn't hit the numbers that he consistently hit prior to, but they gave him the actual touches that he needed, and he had 24 carries and 162 yards, and he helped propel the Ravens to a win. Yeah, there
Is
he
this
is.
your
That's the one.
win? Is
No, no,
this
that's not.
no
That's not.
why?
That's
It's
not. No, that's
why.
not why. We asked him that last time. That's not
Yeah,
why.
that's not
That's not
why.
why.
Where's why? But I'll still take Maverick. We were well on our merry way to another win. Then
Win.
Russ got greedy. He will learn, or you will learn that you weren't on your merry way to anything.
First of all, Mr. Sierra didn't get greedy. He just had bad ball security. That's it.
Killer Cam said Rosengarten was his stock up. Yeah, because the offensive line, we didn't really talk about it, but we can do it now. Um, the offensive line as a whole, early on, Ronnie Stanley struggled. He did.
He did.
Daniel Falele, that's nothing new, nothing surprising. But I can see Roger Rosengarten, stock up, holding it down.
He held
So,
his own.
yeah, he held his own. And for a rookie, good deal. Oh, that's why. It's the same thing. No, I'm sorry. Why got 2 accounts? You can't tell me. I know we asked the other day, we're like, are you the same person? This is the same one. Why? You told us that you were coming by. I said, why? We are live streaming the game.
He said he's here now.
Okay. Well, good.
He didn't want to stop. He didn't want to stop. He didn't want to be there during the game. He knew what was going to happen. Everybody knew what was going to happen. When I looked at that pregame show and I saw that dog hit that basketball into the Ravens basket 3 times, I knew the Ravens were going to win. Dog's never wrong.
Well, why? If you would have listened to us the other night, rather than telling us that we were wrong, we didn't know what we were talking about, if you would have just taken in a little bit of what we had to say, you would have expected it because we kind of told you. Now, granted, I did not tell you that the score would be 34-17. I didn't say that. I thought it would be closer than that, but
Wow.
hey, it is what it is.
Why? It's the Steelers. We don't expect them to score.
I mean, hey, they beat us last time. It didn't matter. They beat us last time with field goals only. A win is still a win. O-line is still bad, Alaskan Man says, but that's a good defensive front. It is. It is. You can't take that away from them. And I know some Steelers fans are going to say, well, TJ Watt, he wasn't himself. He was getting over an ankle injury, and that may be. But Pat Mahomes also is getting over or, dealing with an ankle injury, and he got the job done today. So.
Oh, you were with Engraven. Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. As long as you were hanging out.
As long as you came and showed up.
That's it. That's all that matters. I appreciate you.
He said he's battling the whole flock. You weren't battling anybody, just like the Steelers weren't battling the Ravens. Mm-hmm. It's light work.
Yeah,
light work.
It is. It is because at some point you thought you were going to win, but then I hope. Yeah.
When Lamar threw that interception, all Steelers fans sat up in their seats.
Oh, they were ready. Andre let us have it in the chat. Andre just kept, he had so much to say. He was ready to go. He was rough and ready. And
you see, he ain't come back, right? You see,
he did. Right? He came back.
You don't see him in here now, do you?
He's probably in one of his Steelers streams. The therapy streams. They're talking about it, right? They're talking things through. We got my guy.
Steelers are in our streams right now. They've been in all our streams. They don't want to talk about this. They know they suck. They know they're about to lose 4 straight, go to the wild card round and lose again. They haven't won a playoff game. They have not won a playoff game since 2016, and it's not about to change this year.
Why? If you want to know how the story ends, so you don't say, I wasn't expecting that, you might want to listen to what we're telling you now. Doc Rock, thank you for being...
If you want to know what, just ask.
If you want to know how the story is going to end, we're going to tell you why. We're going to tell you.
And I can tell you when. It's going to be in January, first round of the playoffs.
I promise I'm gonna read this comment. I promise. I promise. Doc Rock, thank you. King Morin, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I'll allow
Oh, that's nice.
playing hooky
Double.
from class with a good win like this one. Yes, I missed class today and I'm so upset about it. I wanted to be in class. I did. I did. Zay had a day. Okay. You heard it here. That's it. Well, thank you.
That was our Super Bowl.
Who said that's our Super Bowl?
Why?
The therapy streams. Yeah, they have to. They have to have therapy streams because this was this was tough on them. Nobody wanted to hear it, Doc. No Steelers fan wanted to hear us tell them you're not going to win this one. They told us every which way that how the Steelers were coming in here. They got their brooms ready. They were about to sweep.
They watch mainstream media. That's why they watched the mainstream sportscasters and they said, well, Lamar normally struggles and this team can't beat the Steelers. So everybody jumped on board and said, well, if you're on TV, you must know what you're talking about. So
Chaos, are you trolling? I hope so. I hope Falele and McCary are goats.
They are goats. Goats of disappointing picks.
Why told us to have our moment in the sun. Okay.
No, our moment is when we get the division. We go on to beat the Steelers in the playoffs. Then we go on to beat the Bills. Then we're going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs and take on Detroit or Philadelphia and win the Super Bowl. That's when we'll have our moment in the sun. That's when we're going to collectively sit down and go, the work is done.
Yeah.
2016 win. 2016. It's a long time since y'all have won a playoff game.
Ooh. Has it been that long?
Yes.
Big Woke.
I didn't even have a granddaughter then.
Big Woke. He said Falele and McCary are the goats of this game. So now where did we leave off?
We left off. I thought we left off at
who are the
stock up offensive players, and I said Derrick Henry.
I'll share mine. This is going to be an honorable stock up to Justice Hill. Even before he went out of the game, Justice Hill was doing very well, and I'm going to give him the stock up award just because, you see it all the time. Take one for the team, and today he did. So prayers up to him for a speedy, full recovery.
I want to change my stock up.
Okay.
My stock up goes to an unsung hero who got everything started, Isaiah Likely.
Yeah,
he actually did something in the game. So my stock up goes to him because you can't go anywhere but up when you go from 0 to something.
Okay, Chaos. Now we're taking it too far now. This is
we don't believe you.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Justin, thanks for being here. 34-17 Ravens over Texans on Christmas Day. Speaking of Christmas Day, if you are just now
like 42-10.
Yeah, that's more like it. I think that's gonna be a pretty significant win for us. If you are just now tuning in, welcome. Please subscribe, join the family. Make sure you're dialed in, locked in with us for the remainder of this season, all the way through the Super Bowl, because that's what we're doing this year, winning it. But if you don't know, Hendo and I will be live streaming the game on Christmas Day. You don't want to miss it. It's always a good time. So make sure you join us. We'd love to have you. Brian says our linebackers are not good. We talked about that earlier in the show, Brian. Yeah. They're just and I think it's more impactful because last year you couldn't tell me that the Ravens linebacking duo and Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith were not right up there with the 49ers linebacking duo. Greenlaw and Warner. They were. They were
not right up there. No, listen, and even the staunchest supporters, after they actually watched Dre Greenlaw and after they watched Fred Warner play a couple games, they said, you know what? I lied. They second, but they ain't right there.
I said right up. When I say right up there, I mean they're number one. We were number two.
Oh yeah, but it's
I wasn't saying that we were number one. Like
no, I get that, but it's a large gap. It's not. They weren't like right there.
They weren't too far.
Oh yeah, they were.
Not that far.
Yeah, they were.
Listen, I'm going to keep that one. I'm keeping that one.
Have pass coverage
in comparison, but we're still struggling with that now. So
no. I'm talking about number ones. They can pass coverage, not ours. Both of those struggled.
Okay, here come the excuses. Watt had one leg. Tomlin had a bad game plan, and there were bad calls. Well, what do you have to say about Kansas City Chiefs Pat Mahomes playing on I don't know what his sprained ankle. I don't know. I think it's a high ankle sprain. I don't know,
Their wide
but
receiver number one's out.
but they won the game.
Uh,
Just I mean, so with the excuses that you're given, the bottom line is
Jalen Hurts had a broken hand.
you
Saquon
took
Barkley
an
was
L.
injured. AJ Brown was
I
injured, but
asked
still
you,
beat y'all last
Hendo.
week. What?
Look
I
at
didn't.
Shook. I said because now I don't have a third. I mean, I can create a scene real quick because
None,
I
I
said, should
guess
we
we
let me create a scene. Talk amongst yourselves. Give me about 3 minutes. Let me because I want
minutes.
Shook to. Yeah, just talk amongst yourself for a couple minutes. I gotta create a
Oh,
scene.
I didn't know we were gonna be here that long. I thought you said real quick, but okay.
Oh, it's been 50 minutes. Wow.
That's
Okay.
that's when you talk
But I
about
just
creating a scene. Like, what are you doing? Like, just let me know what you're doing.
wait a minute.
Are we gonna
Hold
be?
on. Take some of
Is
the
this
bass. Let's take some of that bass out your
first of
voice
all?
and calm
First of
down
all,
now. Wait a minute.
just let
Hold
me.
on.
Is this hashtag 2 hour stream? Is that what
No,
we're
it's
doing?
not. But I did not know that Suge was going to be here.
We were
So
supposed to be gone by now. Actually, you said this was going to be a quick stream.
yeah, by quick I mean less than an hour. That's quick for us. Under an hour. Facts. We get on here and we just start talking. But listen, I do want Suge to come on just real quick, but I would have to create a scene. I didn't know that he was joining. So what we'll do, we might, or we can do this, or we can have Suge maybe tomorrow night.
Yes, y'all two can stream tomorrow night at your
Yes, the
normal
three of us
7
can
p.m.
stream
time.
tomorrow. That we might do that. Suge, I didn't know, but anyway, so
I guess you want to
any
go to stock down on
concerns?
offense.
Right, I'm going back to that. Any
Okay.
concerns as for our offense as we head into the Texans game? Coming out of this
Yes,
game,
yes. Zay Flowers' hands, his digits.
can you be
He
serious?
he has a. I'm dead serious. He has a drop problem that no one wants to admit. He drops a lot of passes.
Hmm.
I'm just saying. Like we keep just saying, oh, he's better than Hollywood, so we just brush that under the rug. That could be an issue come playoff time. That's
Yeah.
my concern. I mean, of course, the offensive line that doesn't even need to be said. This offensive line is horrible. But of course, Lamar and his escapability and Derrick Henry just running through people makes them look a lot better than they really are.
Hmm.
Ronnie Stanley solid, Linderbaum solid. The penalties are an issue. Pat
Yeah.
McCarry has kind of slowed down on his holding calls. He's doing a little bit better, but I don't think that I can count on him in the playoffs. Lele just looks clueless out there at times, and Rosengarten is doing his thing for a rookie. So
Yeah. That's the biggest problem I see.
see,
Honestly, that's the
I
biggest.
knew that I knew that's what he meant. Guards still suck. Yes, they do.
That's it. Who's
Probably the worst
combative?
guards in the league.
Showtime. Who's combative? Were you saying that in reference to who?
He
Yeah,
put a
the O
last.
line. That is a concern, sure. But
He talking
how
about
did?
Suge.
What did you say?
He talking about Suge is so combative, or me.
And let him answer. Let me know. Showtime. Let us know. But this is a question I have now. Given that we have a below average O line, putting it mildly. How do you think Todd Monken did in terms of game planning today to accommodate for the deficiencies? Let us know in the chat. Hendo, what do you think?
I think he did a good job. Like we didn't have an issue where he tried to do those long development plays where the offensive line had to hold their blocks for a long period of time. I think Lamar made
I'm not
listen show
stressed.
listen
It
Showtime.
just
You
I deal
I'm,
with Hendo and I'm just like,
listen Showtime. I'm the stress one. You don't hear the conversations that happen after this where I'm sitting there looking at my phone like she really thinks she the boss of me. What in the world? I'm the stressed one, but I'm
we had
fine now
bad
because all my
chemistry. Wow. Okay. Well, thank you for that, Showtime.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Everybody,
Thank you.
everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah, that's fine. What were you saying, Hendo?
Anywho, I think that Todd Monken did a good job. He did a good job for the most part, especially going against a defensive line like this. Listen, even though T.J. Watt was hampered a little bit, they still had Cam Hayward, Alex Highsmith came back. Like they were putting pressure on us, and I think he did a good job of navigating for what we have to offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the combative one.
Uh, well, I mean, everyone has their own opinion, but
Yes, the O line in the middle of the field defense. Facts.
for sure, for sure. But did Todd Monken do anything today to kind of settle you in terms of our O line isn't that good? Did we see something different from Todd Monken today that kind of says, okay, well, at least he recognizes that we're going to need to do something different than what we've been doing when we go against these really tough defenses?
I think he did better because, like I said, we started to run the ball, started to have success. Then we went back. Then we went. Calm down,
Thanks,
shit.
Suge.
Then we went back to our old tendencies where we tried to pass the ball too much. But then I think he did another redirect and said, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. This isn't working, and went back to the run. Where in the past it would have still been pass, pass, pass until we try to get it right. So I do think that he made strides in what was going on. First of
No,
all,
no, when I'm
let's not talk
actually,
about the
one moment. When no, when, why? No, actually, I'm a Christian woman. So no, I don't do that. But if that's what you do, good, kudos to you. But no, absolutely not. I
still
think
still do voodoo. They got voodoo going on
that's not in
for,
my, I don't,
for,
I
for their
not
wins.
even remotely interested. But, Big Red
Don't
says
cut
we
me. Don't
complete,
cut me off while I'm talking.
was just moving
Don't,
on.
don't. Okay, but don't cut me off while I'm talking.
Finish your sentence.
I'm done now.
I figured you were done. That's why I said we completed a successful screenplay. So big ups to Todd. I mean,
We've been doing successful screenplays
yeah,
all
we
year
have.
long,
We
which has
have.
been a surprise.
Yeah, we have. Todd Monken allowed Derrick Henry to be Derrick Henry. That's
100%.
surprising in a good way, right? Because we know that with Todd Monken, we kind of like sort of take Derrick Henry off the field at times, especially if it's not working. And
But
today,
we weren't really allowed to because when Justice Hill got hurt, we really didn't have a backup to come in. I know Agnes, them too. They always doing something.
Yolanda, Monken did a better job this time in how he used Henry by using him in the passing game. Yeah, that was really nice to see that. I saw that too, Agro Valley Farm. So that's why I'm
Yeah.
saying it can be something that we take as a positive, right? We know our O line is not, I'm not going to call it trash. We know our O line is not great, but there's something to be said about the fact that we overcame a hurdle, right? We overcame this mountain that was in front of us called the Steelers, their defensive front. We figured out, oh, okay, let's get Derrick Henry involved, even in the passing game. Let's keep using Derrick Henry. Let's rely on some screen passes. That's what we needed. And it would have been nice to see that the first game, but we're not going to go back and harp over old things. We did it
But
today.
was it more of coaching evolution or out of necessity? Because Justice Hill wasn't in there, and you can't just have Derrick Henry in there and run him the whole day long.
Yeah.
So was it out of necessity or has Monken evolved? That's the question that needs to be asked going into the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I like this comment. Ravenville 15, thanks for being here. I hope Keaton Mitchell is okay. I do too. I do too. And I'm getting a little concerned why we're not seeing him.
Really? I told you before the beginning of the season he wasn't going to be ready. I said y'all putting too much hopes on a guy that just got seriously injured to come back and contribute to this team. I knew it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
And of course, some people are going to say we're saving them for the playoffs. No, we're not, because you don't go from 0 to 60 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You don't go from
No.
doing nothing to going in the playoffs and having a major impact. Let
Mm-hmm.
that boy heal. Let that young man heal and come back next season. Don't put him in there and get injured again, and then he loses another year.
Yeah. We'll talk really quickly about special teams. And maybe we need to do that on another day because we can spend a whole lot of time there. For us
Ain't no
having the head coach, John Harbaugh, as the special teams guru, our special teams is concerning, disappointing, and underwhelming. What are your thoughts about it, Hendo?
It's our special teams is the epitome of John Harbaugh. It's nothing special about it. Now, a lot of people had stuff to say about Tylen Wallace because he got a lot of fair catches. He didn't get many yards when he did actually catch the ball. But guess what? for the most part, he had ball security.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that we need. We don't need yards. We can get yards with Lamar and Derrick Henry. We need ball security. And then you put Desmond King back there, and he fumbles. Normally, that would put players in the doghouse because the first game versus the Steelers, as soon as Derrick Henry fumbled, we saw a little bit more of Justice Hill. But for some reason, when it comes to special teams, there are different rules and parameters. Every year, ever since Jerry Rossberg retired, so he must have been the brains of this operation. But every year since he retired, the special teams unit has gotten worse and worse and worse, especially in kickoff coverage. The special teams unit, Justin Tucker's getting worse. Jordan Stout, we wasted a 4th-round pick on for a guy that kicked the ball 15 yards.
Ooh.
We wasted a 4th-round pick. So instead of trading a 4th-round pick to get somebody else to help get help with for Lamar, we said, you know what? Let's get a punter that's going to be available in free agency. And he's not working out for us. So for this to be John Harbaugh's specialty and you can't even improve on that, what is your purpose for this team?
Well said.
But are we just talking about special teams or are we talking about coaches?
Or just I mean, go ahead. You transition to it, but that's fine. That's
no.
fine.
I just want to add one more thing.
Go
so
ahead.
Everybody has a role. John Harbaugh's don't know what it is. He's a rah-rah guy, whatever. But shout out to my man, Sashi Brown, who was hugging and high-fiving all the players as they came into the locker room. Sashi Brown is a real one. Believe that.
Don't get me started on Sashi Brown. Not tonight, because we're about to wrap this show up, and I have plenty to say. If you have any questions for us, drop them in the chat right now. Let us know before we get out of here. But yes, special teams is a problem and not one to be ignored. If it's not Justin Tucker, it's it's Jordan Stout. And so we're just not in sync. And for, like Hendo said, for John Harbaugh to be the guru of special teams, well, we don't look all that special. I saw someone put that in there earlier. I think it was Ravenville. Special teams are not special at all. Not at all. No, we've got to do better. But we do have a question right now from Daniel Franklin. He wants to know, what are we going to do about running back 2 if Hill misses time? Excellent question. The team obviously doesn't trust Ali.
I don't either.
What are we going to do?
They just resigned. They just resigned Chris Collier from off. I think it was the Seahawks practice squad. They just brought him back. Okay. He may be an option. It's a couple other guys that may be on practice squads that were here previously.
Nobody.
Sashi Brown?
Nobody. What do you mean explain myself? Right, third. Were you not in the last live stream that we had this whole discussion? Because the question Big Reg asked Yolanda, why do you dislike Sashi Brown? I gave my answer already. And I've said it like at least 2 or 3 times. But
because he's for the players.
No. That has nothing to do with why I do not like Sashi Brown. No. Sashi Brown is our
team president.
I don't even want to call him that, but that is on paper, his title is president for the Baltimore Ravens organization. That's what his title is, okay? But I've already explained myself, though. Killer Cam,
he's been successful in football. He's been successful in baseball. Like, he's just been successful. And he came to the Ravens to give his insight and knowledge.
And for done absolutely nothing.
He has no voice. John Harbaugh has the voice.
He has a voice. Killer Cam says we're going to rely on Keaton. I don't think we are, Killer Cam. I don't. I'm sorry. I disagree. Because if we were going to see Keaton Mitchell, we would have seen him before now. And I know he's played, we sprinkled him in shortly after, October, after about a year after his injury, November of last year. Or was it December? I think we saw him in November. So last month we saw him a little bit. It was, and his injury was last year, December, against the Jags. But since November, how much have we seen Keaton Mitchell? And here we are entering the latter portion of December. So I don't think either A, they're not liking what they're seeing in practice with Keaton, and not because he's not a great player, but maybe his injury is maybe he's not fully recovered enough. Or B, something is nagging.
Keaton is done. Keaton is done. Like he's
I
hurt.
don't
He's
want to
done.
call him.
And it has nothing. And it has listen. It has nothing to do with that. When I knew Keaton was not going to play was when they asked John Harbaugh about him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we just taking precautions and just making sure everything looks good." And I said, "Oh, he's a liar, and he
Hmm.
always lies." So that's when I knew something was really wrong with Keaton when he just started making up some stuff.
Yeah. I don't know, Killer Cam. I disagree with you. I don't think Keaton is gonna. I don't think we're stashing him or we're gonna rely on him. Chin Wu has a
Right?
question before we head out.
But my thing is,
Um,
I just want to say this. I'm sorry, I want to say this.
Go ahead.
Like you're stashing somebody for the playoffs who hasn't played in a year. He hasn't had contact running the ball in over a year. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have football conditioning. He hasn't had any meaningful snaps in over a
Right.
year, and you're saving that for the playoffs. Not
Yeah.
to mention, I like Keaton Mitchell and I wish him the best. But y'all acting like Keaton Mitchell is one of these big, rough, tough, stout running backs. He's a little guy who got hurt twice in 43 snaps.
Mm.
43 snaps. He got hurt. And you think that he's just going to come off? He's just going to come off the injury bug, out of the bed and be like, yeah, I'm ready for the playoffs? It's not going to happen.
Chin Wu wants to know: do you trust in Harbs to improve special teams for the playoffs? I do. Hendo?
Of course you do, Cheru. You trust in John Harbaugh to do anything and then rest on Sundays. But no, I don't trust him to improve the special teams. When has he improved this team at all? When Jerry Rossberg retired, you would have thought that was a time when John Harbaugh stepped in and improved the special teams. He has not at all. It has actually gotten worse year after year. So what makes you think that anything is different from the past 3 years till now? That he's going to say, you know what? 2 games left in the season, I'm going to make a change. He's not Michael Jackson. He's not ready to make that change. But he will not look at the man in the mirror.
I'm going to disagree with you, Chen Wu. I don't believe Harbaugh is going to like whatever he needs to do to turn this ship around. I don't think so.
He's incapable.
Because
He can't do it.
I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say that that's fine. I'm just going to say that no, I don't think he will. Because for you to be the special teams kind of guru, then you shouldn't ever be in a place where your special teams, like Ravenville said earlier, isn't special. There should be at no point where if this is your, bread and butter, this was what you did, this is what you specialized in, that side or area of the ball or the football field, they always, if nobody else is on point, they should be. And the fact that we're in this deficit in terms of our level of play on special teams, given John Harbaugh's experience, I don't think he will. And
Yeah, we suffer kicking, we suffer punting, we suffer in
everything,
coverage.
all of it,
Everything. Each and every
phase.
one of them suffer.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
when is he going to improve it? Game 18? I'm sorry, week 18? That's when he's going to improve it, Chenwu? Or he's going to wait till game 1 of the playoffs?
Killer Cam, I disagree. If there's a setback, you can't rely on him. And if you do, you're going to rush him back, and that's going to be even worse, kind of like what we did with Ronnie Stanley. So to me, that's not wise. So, unfortunately, like you said, you do believe that there has been a setback with Keaton. If there is, you can't rely on him. I know you want to, and it's like, okay, well, we don't have anybody else, but we have Collier. So we're going to have to do that. Because if there's a true step back and his injury was a really bad one, it was very severe, then we won't be able to. Question right third. Now, see, you guys are asking all these questions at the end. We said we were going to try to keep this under an hour, and we have gone over an hour. Question: who you think is protecting Harbs, EDC or Bishotti?
It ain't EDC.
Yeah. I don't know how much protection is going on for Harbs. What I think it is, Harbs gets away with a lot because we have Lamar Jackson. So a lot of because we're still winning for the most part. Yeah, I know what our record is, but we still have a winning record at this point. If we remember going back to before Lamar took over as a starter, I really think that John Harbaugh's job was on the line. But for Lamar Jackson coming in and completely doing an overhaul and we start winning games. So I think John Harbaugh would have been out the door. And I still think that if we had a losing record, a losing season, I think John Harbaugh would really be on the hot seat and almost on his way out. So what about you, Hendo?
It's Bisciotti. He said it. He said, listen, this is how I built a successful business. Continuity.
Yeah.
Keeping the same people around. Appreciate you. Love you too. By keeping the same people around and just having that consistency, this is the way he practices his business model. And he took that over into sports. He's comfortable with John Harbaugh. He knows what to expect from John Harbaugh. But Shadi is not worried about winning a Super Bowl. But Shadi is worried about remaining profitable. And that's what John Harbaugh does. He brings a winning product during the regular season each and every year. So why change it? Oh, yeah, we're not winning Super Bowls, but guess what? We're selling merchandise, we're selling tickets, we're selling suites, we're winning games. What more do I need? I have a Super Bowl ring. I'm really not that competitive as an owner because I have everything that I need. I have a ring, I have a team, I have my billions. So yeah, I don't know. Why do I need to change things and bring in somebody that I don't know? And one thing that I think that a lot of people don't think about, because I don't really think about it, when it comes to front offices, when it comes to ownership, when it comes to head coaches, when it comes to assistant coaches, a lot of these gentlemen factor in the people that they bring in because a lot of times they have to go out and have dinner with them and their families. They have to be inclusive to these people. So if I'm comfortable with John Harbaugh, his wife, and his kids, why would I bring in a brand new coach, a brand new wife, and brand new kids and have them in our inner circle and have to get used to them? So he's one guy that doesn't like change. And as an old man, I can tell you, change isn't always accepted that readily. So yeah, EDC is not doing it, but Shadi most definitely is doing it.
Okay. Well, you heard it here. Well, there you go. Well, ladies, gentlemen, a great team win for our Ravens.
Yes.
Enjoy the win. It is a short week because we take on the Texans.
No, I'm just saying, too many games and too little days.
Oh,
That
we
ain't
take
right.
we take on the Texans on Christmas. So it's got to be a good one. We don't get to keep the 24-hour celebration. Yeah, let's celebrate our win. No, we got to turn the page and move on now. Start our put our attention to getting prepared for the Texans.
Right. And the
Prayers
crazy
up
part
to
is,
Tank Dell.
yes, indeed. But the crazy part is the same four teams that played today play on Christmas Day.
Yes.
So
Yes.
all of them are the same. So nobody has an advantage.
Nope.
All of them.
Yes.
3 games, 10 days, except for Houston's a little more banged up than everybody else.
Shug, we're going to talk with you about this because we're going to talk with you. See, we missed you today during the show, during the stream, because we certainly wanted to see your live reaction, your expression right then and
Your
there
lovely face.
during the game. You were missed, but I understand you were with your son and family takes priority. Absolutely. Always. Daniel Franklin says it's not an environment for accountability. Well, listen, one thing about us with Lamar Jackson, we find a way to win despite our deficiencies. So, and with the addition of Derrick Henry, it's working. So again, prayers up to Justice Hill and to Tank Dell. Hope they both are able to make a full, speedy recovery, and we'll see them back soon. I know Tank Dell, they said, I think it's season ending for him, which is unfortunate, which is really, really unfortunate. But you got scared and wouldn't send me the link. No, it's not that. I don't have the scenes created for a third person, and I didn't know that you wanted to join tonight. I thought you were with your son, so my apologies for that. But we can certainly talk about having you on tomorrow. But that is all for tonight. Yes, Jose, 1-0 today. We did. We got it done. That is all for tonight. Thank you for watching, Team Ramey. I see you. Thank you for watching. We will see you very soon. Hendo, let them know where they can find you on social media.
You can find me at the Rogue Pod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Blue Sky. And you'll be seeing us for the rest of the week. So,
yeah,
I'll tell you again later.
All right, family. Enjoy the win. Go live it up because we got a tough schedule ahead of us and we're going to be ready. But for tonight, we can at least say, Steelers, you didn't sweep the Ravens this year. So forget it. See y'all soon, family.